Okay, well, used a little bit I know, I think is Dane Bebamash Dishnakaz, Chiging Donjaba. um, but yeah, I'm Dane Bebamash. I'm from Chiging. I've lived here pretty much all my life. I spent a number of years in my 20s out west in Calgary, in Alberta and BC, having little adventures. But ultimately, I've come home and I want to be home after experiencing the world that this is where I want to be. Yeah, so December 17th, I decided to open up my dispensary here in Chiging First Nation, trying to provide a nice, responsible, respectful service and a good product that people would like to come to and purchase off me. I've been waiting on my band to do something about this issue, make some kind of stance, but they've been sitting on this issue for the past over 3 years. And I've been watching everybody here go to other reservations to buy this product legally and then just come home and do whatever. I don't hold nothing against them because I do the same thing. I smoke my weed and I do whatever. But I think like throughout my whole life, I've been trying to find where I belong, like, and what kind of work I want to do. I can't work in an office industry. That's not my setting. I can't work in the construction field anymore because I've done it for the past 15 years. And now this past 4 years, I've been throwing my back out every season. And that is excruciatingly painful and humbling to be in that manner for 2 weeks every year because you're trying to provide for yourself and your family. So now that cannabis is legal federally, I've been waiting to be able to get into my niche here because this is something I've been using my whole life, essentially. When I was younger, the doctors tried to put me on ADHD medication, Ritalin. And I found when I was on Ritalin, I'd turn into a zombie. I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be a problem to any of the teachers or anybody else after that either, because you know what? It's hard for someone to be a problem when they're just zoned out all day. And that didn't help me. I didn't learn. I didn't get any better in schooling. But I found over the time that cannabis was helping me. It would help me focus. It would help me concentrate, help me stay on task. It slowed down my hyperactivity a bit so that I can actually focus on things. So to be able to get into this business was kind of like almost like a dream come true. Growing up, never thinking weed's ever going to be legal. It's always going to be a criminal thing, and I'm always going to be on the wrong side of the law because I love this plant. But now that it's legal, I can like fulfill my dreams. I just started after a month, and I'm able to expand on my house more to put in a bedroom because I put everything I can into my house right now and what little I could into the dispensary to make it nice and professional. And it's a great feeling of independence. I've always lived hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, never being able to put something away because there's always this, there's always that. And now that I'm able to put money into the business, put money into my house, put money into my own pocket, it's freeing. And I don't feel that what I am doing is harmful. The substance I provide isn't bad. I can do this with a clear conscience. I have the support of many in my community, and it's aggravating and frustrating and saddening that I have to go through this with my band. Chiging Band Council put a moratorium on cannabis in September of 2018, 1 month before cannabis was legalized federally in Canada. So they knew that there was going to be some issue. And essentially that moratorium has been in place with no look back on it until I think I officially got them started, because I applied for a business license in early February and I openly put on that license, I want to run a dispensary. I want to sell cannabis. I want to sell this. And what I was told was they denied me right away. And I never heard nothing from that until 7 months later when I inquired, because I thought they were taking their time with it. And yeah, they told me I was denied. And you had a letter sent to you, and they tried to tell me all these things, that it was the email, it was in the mail, and you got it, Dane, you got that letter, they said. I said, no, I didn't. And that just kind of tipped my back to open up the store, like broke the was that the straw that broke the camel's back? I'm opening my store. I need to get financially set here. I pulled out some loans to build, and then I need to get these loans paid. And so Chiging, essentially, they I don't know, they said they started looking into it, but the date that they gave me pretty much coincided when I applied for my business license. So I kind of forced the issue. I've looked into it, and yeah, they haven't done nothing about it. So because I want to do better in my life, I don't know, they don't like it. When I opened up, I got a letter the very same day that I opened up, which was surprising considering they couldn't get a hold of me before, and delivered it to me saying cease and desist, your shop is illegal. And I just decided this is my right. They shouldn't be able to do this to me, and I need to be able to provide for myself and my family. I'm starting to bring my family. I have been separated from my family, and I feel that my financial dependence on family was what held me back from fully being able to commit to my little family that I had, and I pushed them away. But now that I'm being able to offer something of myself and feel like I am worth something, I'm finally getting them back. So that's really good for me, and this is what I want. And the police raid happened 4 days or 3 days after I was open. I opened on a Friday, and Monday I was raided. It was a joint effort, I guess, with the UCCM and the OPP, and yeah, that's all I know. That's all I know. I was told that I was being raided. Everything was taken from me, all my cannabis product in here, and yeah, they've charged me with, I don't know what kind of laws, federal laws, provincial laws. I don't know. They tried telling me things like, oh, you should just look it up on the internet. I told them, you know what? I looked everything up. I thought I was doing everything right, and you guys still trampled on my rights. So what's the use? So I continued to operate my store. I opened up the very next day because I do believe this is my right. Cannabis is a medicine. We should be able to trade in it and make a living off it. Too many in our people are succumbing to other drugs right now. We're having an opioid epidemic here with fentanyl and however else. I don't even know how they do that stuff. What it is? Is it? I don't even know what they're doing anymore. But I know a lot of our people are overdosing. There have been, I think there was about 4 overdoses this past week alone, and we've had many deaths in the past number of years related to the opioids. So there was a survey put out to the community in which they asked if the community members were in favor of cannabis and if they were in favor of either a private operation or band operated businesses. They put that survey out, I think about March. And then in July, in the July newsletter of our Chiging First Nation, they mentioned in there that the results were ready, they're tallied, and they will be released to us in the August newsletter. I found that, and I've highlighted, I got that on record, and I've paid attention to all the newsletters since, and there's been no mention of the cannabis survey results. When I posted it recently, this issue online, someone reached out to me from the band office and said, oh, the results came out in positive in both aspects of cannabis stores and in private stores, but we were told not to release that information. So we're not there. Our business isn't being transparent. So yes, I got my own petition going with over 170 signatures so far from people coming here to sign. With COVID out there, I don't want to be going out door to door asking people for signatures. So I put the call out on Facebook in my community, on my local page, for anyone to come out who is willing to come out and sign. And the turnout has been great. The reception has been great. Positive reviews. Everyone's happy with what I'm doing, and they hope to see me do better. They hope to see this expand, which I also hope to do. So I've once I was met with legal repercussions, I looked towards getting in touch with Del Riley because I had heard of him and I'd read about him and I looked him up before in preparation for this situation. I had hoped for the best, that I would be allowed to operate, but I was prepared and I looked into what my defense would be, and from what I had heard, Del Riley was the way to go. And looking into him and what he has done for our people, I strongly believe that he could help me to help find a resolution to this, so we can avoid going through the governmental courts and try and strengthen our sovereignty here. He has written several letters on my behalf, and we've delivered them to Chief and Council and UCCM Police in hopes that they will want to sit down and have a meeting with us so we can try and work this out. We hope to have a community meeting when the COVID dies down to try and get community support and more support. I already have the support, we'll get more. But to also inform them of what is going on here, of how this affects us more in our treaty rights. I think this fight goes a little deeper than just cannabis. And I never thought I'd be involved in something like this. This all seems kind of surreal sometimes when I look back on it, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I've never had any issues with criminal activities. I've had my issues, well, I've had issues, but I've never had criminal proceedings. I've never been involved with the criminal system. I've made bad choices in life, but I've never done anything that I would think that I would go to jail for. And this really scares me. It's sad that it's brought on by my own people. I don't like that.